Good morning, everyone. My name is Israel Roman. I'll be your host for today with our topic fast and easy pathway to Canada. For those people joining us in our Facebook live stream, please welcome everyone. Please do like and share our live stream. For those people joining us in our Zoom webinar, welcome everyone. If you have any questions, you are watching us from our Zoom webinar, please have your questions written down in our chat box and I'll go ahead and take a look at them and answer them. If you're joining us in our Facebook live stream, please, if you have any questions, just type in your questions on the comment section. And I'll be happy to answer them. Again, welcome everyone. My name is Israel Roman. I'm your host for today's live stream webinar on fast and easy pathway to Canada. So a few things about us. So I myself is a licensed immigration consultant. I am licensed with ICCRC, or the Immigration Consultant of Canada Regulatory Council. So just a friendly advice. If someone is giving you immigration advice when it comes to Canada, let's say for work permit, study permit, visit visa to Canada, they are they should be licensed with ICCRC. Not unless they are your relatives, and that's fine. But then if they are not your relative, they need to be licensed with ICCRC. They have to take the immigration policy course, take the board exam, and be an active member of the ICCRC. So just make sure that whoever's helping you with your immigration paperwork, that they're licensed, and you can check that one with ICCRC. So go on to the ICCRC website. And also on the ICCRC website, if you have any complaints with regards to that consultant, you can go ahead and file a complaint. But if they're not licensed with ICCRC, then even if you do complain, they won't be able to do anything because they are not members of the body. So try to find out if that person is licensed with has a active license. You go to the public register, hit learn more, and down below you type in their name. So for an example, for this one, if you want to see, is Israel really a licensed immigration consultant, type in the last name Roman, first name Israel, and then hit search. And you'll see down here it says Roman Israel. Status is active, and the license number is 524540. And when you hit contact, it would show you where I am from, which is the Nanaimo, BC, Canada. And the company that I work for is Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited. Okay. So that's one way, or that's a way of checking if the person is legally able to help you when it comes to immigration services. Okay. Then your other checks would be is to check if the business is really an active business. So since Roman and Associates is in Canada, you can go ahead and go to Canada Business Registry. if the business is outside of Canada, I'm pretty sure that country would have a way on how to check if that business is a existing business. So for this purposes, you go to British Columbia, type in the name of the company, Roman and Associates, and you'll see it in here, Roman and Associates Immigration Services Limited, and it's a BC company and it is active. Okay. So now you have two ways of making sure that you're working with a someone that you can trust, right? Next is also Google, all right? You can go ahead and search for that person in Google and see if there's any red flag, anything that stands out, anything that would alert you that, hey, I shouldn't be working with this person. So let's go ahead and search for Israel Roman in Nanaimo and let's see what comes up. Okay. So this is okay. So there is this company, Roman Associates Immigration Services, and this is in Dumont Road. So this is in Nanaimo, and it's closed right now because right now it is 8:09 p.m. So if you search down here, you'll see a LinkedIn profile, and let's go check for more. This one right here is from NanaimoBulletin.com. Nanaimo Hospital Auxiliary donation tops 300,000, and it says here Israel Roman Energy H intensive care unit, telemetry medicine, heart health. Okay. Any other? So this one's right. This one right here is BC local news. Nanaimo Hospital gets 340K. BC local news. Okay. And let's go check the pictures. Okay. So I'll open up my camera. Okay. So now you can compare, right? So that's me giving a quick thank you speech to the Nanaimo volunteers. And if you zoom right here on the podium, it would say in there, I'm not sure if you can read it, but it says City of Nanaimo. And you can compare this face right here from the webcam and the picture, right? So let's go check another picture. Okay. This one right here is again myself holding a big fat check. And this is from BC local news. So Nanaimo Hospital gets 340. Let's get another picture in. This one is also myself right there touring a visitor in one of our units in the hospital. So there you go. So I'm hoping that with these three things, you'll find that it is safe to work with us. And because I've showed you our credentials, all right? So let's move right along. So pathway to Canada. I'm pretty sure you guys have searched a lot of things on how to come to Canada. What are the different ways of coming to Canada? And you might have come across the express entry. Okay. And under the express entry program, there are three subcategories. You have the federal skilled worker program, you have the federal trades worker program, and you have the Canadian experience class. And each of the subcategory, they have their own minimum requirement in order to pass, right? In order to be eligible for that pathway. So let's give you a quick overview. What is express entry? How does express entry really work? So first step is you create a profile. Once you have created a profile, that would be collecting your name, your age, language ability, education, work experience, adaptability, or employment, right? Once you have entered those, you'll have a corresponding score for each of those factors. And you'll have your total score. If you meet the minimum requirements, then you'll go to this pool right here, express entry pool. Then everyone in this pool would have a score, a comprehensive ranking score. Then step two would be the immigration would be saying, okay, for this month, we are inviting the top 1,000. Okay. So how would they determine who are those top 1,000? Then that would be with your comprehensive ranking score. All right. So they'll be ranking the highest score will be on top, top one, and then they go down the pool, right? Until they get to that top 1,000. So you might also recall like before it is a first come first serve basis for federal skilled worker. Now it's no longer first come first serve. It is meeting the minimum requirement and at the same time have the highest qualified candidate. So I'll give you a visual sample. So this person right here applied maybe a year ago. This one right here probably 9 months ago. This one's 8 months ago, 5 months ago, 2 months ago. And this four people right here, they have this corresponding scores. All the rest, they have 463 or below. Okay. Okay. So what happens if by tomorrow immigration did say, okay, for tomorrow, for today's express entry pool lottery draw, we are taking the top 800. Okay. So in the pool of candidates, then they'll see, okay, this is top one, top two, top three, up to top 800. Now, let's say the top 800 score is 500 points. So, this person right here who applied, did I say 9 months ago, will be receiving an invitation. This person who just applied maybe 6 months ago, 5 months ago, is also getting an invitation. This person right here who just applied because he is one of the top 500, he will also get an invitation. While this person right here who applied probably a year ago, this one 8 months ago, 7 months ago, because their score is less than 464 or less than 500, they won't get an invitation. Okay, so they have to wait until they get to that right mark. Okay. And these are the factors that they are looking at when it comes to calculating your comprehensive ranking score. So as I've said, each subcategory, they have their own minimum requirement. So let's go do a quick overview for the Federal Trades Worker Program. The minimum requirement is for their work experience, you need to have at least 2 years of full-time work experience, or and this one needs to be within that 5 years. Okay, before you apply. And the work should be under industrial, electrical, construction, trades, maintenance, supervisor, technical jobs, processing, manufacturing, utilities, and supervisors, chefs, cooks, butchers, and bakers. Okay. Then their language ability. Language ability would be CLB 5 for speaking and listening. So that would be IELTS 5.0 for both. And CLB 4 for reading and writing. That's the minimum requirement. And no education is needed as a requirement. Now, as I've said, this is only a minimum, right? So, yep, you might meet the minimum requirement, but then when you calculate your comprehensive ranking score, you won't have any score for your education. So, you might not get to the right ranking. Okay. All right. moving on, and you need to have an offer of full-time employment for a total period of at least 1 year. So this is the kicker because right now, with the unemployment rate here in Canada, and even before the pandemic, it was hard to get a an employer that would like to hire a foreign worker, and that is because there's a lot of steps for the employer to undergo before they can apply and hire a foreign worker. So you might not be able to get an employer. Okay, so we can say probably federal trades worker won't be an option for you. Okay, so let's go scrap that one. Let's go check federal skilled worker. What is the minimum requirement for a federal skilled worker? So work experience, when it comes to the work experience, at least 1 year. Okay, and it has to be continuous full time and in the same job within the last 10 years, and skill type or occupation type 0A or B. Now the tricky part here, it says in the same job. Okay, so I'll give you a scenario wherein even though you got promoted, it might not help your case when it comes to applying for express entry. So let's say 2 years ago you were a supervisor for 4 years. Then 2 years ago, you from a supervisor you got promoted to a manager. So now you've been a manager for 2 years. What will happen is you will have a score for your manager as a manager, but it would only be for 2 years. Then you'll have a score for your as a supervisor. Now that one's for 4 years. The supervisor position with having 4 years in duration, that one would have a greater score than being a manager for only 2 years. And if you were not promoted 2 years ago, so you stayed as a supervisor, now you're a supervisor for 6 years, then that would have a greater score than a manager of 2 years and than a 4 years of supervisory. Okay, so that's where sometimes it gets tricky when it comes to your work experience and how your work experience can either help you, sometimes your promotion can help you or not, right? So language ability would be CLB 7 for speaking, listening, reading, and writing. So that would be, if you're taking IELTS, that would be a score of 6.0 across the board. When it comes to education, Canadian secondary or post secondary, diploma or degree, and it has to be evaluated by an agency approved by IRCC. Okay. Now, for the skilled worker, it gets confusing because now, in order to meet the minimum, there's a score. You need to have 67 points out of 100 in the sixth selection. But this points, 67 points, this is different from the comprehensive ranking score. This is only to see if you meet the minimum requirement. Okay, so you need to get 67 points to meet the minimum. Then, whatever your situation is, you'll have your corresponding comprehensive ranking score as well. So I'll give you an example. So the factors would be language ability, education, work experience, age, job offer, adaptability. So sample scoring for this one, let's say this person right here, language ability IELTS CLB 8, that person will have a score of 20 points. Of course, if you have CLB 9, that'll be greater than 20, lower than CLB 8, then lesser than 20. Education master's degree, this person gets 23 points. If you have no master's but you have a degree, then you'll have a lower score than 23. Work experience, 6 years or more. So you'll get 15 points for this one. And of course, again, if you less than 6 years, then there'll be a lesser points. Age, This is the working age, 18 to 35. That would give you 12 points. That's the maximum score. So if you are older than 35, there'll be lesser score. Job offer, let's say there's no job offer, right? Because it's hard to get an employer right now. So you get zero. Adaptability, you have a spouse or you have relatives here in Canada, that would give you a perfect score of 5. So with this one, this person gets a score of 77 points. So when it comes to this minimum requirement, yes, this person met the minimum requirement. So that's great. But then what is the comprehensive ranking score for this person, right? Because now we have to see where in the pool this person ranks. And would this person have a chance of getting an invitation? So again, comprehensive ranking score, this is the factors that they look at. So sample scoring, comprehensive ranking score, same situation, the same person, right? So with his age of 1835, education of master's degree, his CLB 8, no Canadian working experience, no second language. Second language would be French. So if you take French, and under the education and language, foreign work and language, this person got a score of 405, right? So 405, historically, the lowest comprehensive ranking score that has been invited to apply for permanent residency is 415. So this person right here won't make it, right? Even though I'm thinking, even though he is in the pool for the next 9 months, he won't get the invitation. He needs to improve on his score. And the only way right now to improve his score would be the education, not the education, but the language. So CLB 8, there's still room for improvement to go to CLB 9. So if this person gets CLB 9, then definitely he'll have a higher score than 405. Okay. So trades is not a go. Skilled worker is a possibility, but it's hard, but it's possible, right? Okay, so let's go check the third one. Maybe this one is the right pathway for you, or this is the pathway. Canadian experience class. Minimum requirement, 1 year of paid Canadian experience, which is a full time, 30 hours per week. And it has to be paid. So volunteer work, unpaid internship, or co-op doesn't work, it doesn't count. And it has to be within the last 3 years of application, and skill type 0A or B. Now, then this one right here, you might say this one then is definitely not my pathway, because how can I get a paid Canadian experience? I'm not in Canada. Okay, valid point, but just hang on to that one. Okay, because you'll be surprised later on which pathway is for you, or which pathway would be the best one for now. Okay, so language ability, so CLB 7 for NOC 0 and A, and you only need CLB 5 for NOC B. Okay, education, again, no education requirement, but again, this is only the minimum. If you don't have any education, that means, I mean, like, I'm not sure saying you don't have an education. If you don't have, if you didn't finish, if you didn't finish your course, then you won't have a score when it comes to the education factor. So, what is a fast and easy pathway to Canada then? You've seen the minimum requirement for the trades, skilled, and then now the Canadian experience class. The fast and easy pathway would be still the Canadian experience class. And you might say, how would that be possible? The minimum requirement is 1 year of paid Canadian experience. So the way to get that one is through the study, work, and immigrate to Canada pathway. Okay. And I'll tell you more. So you apply for a study permit, and it has to be a 12-month course or more or longer. Once you have completed your study permit, your course, you apply for your postgraduate work permit or PGWP. After working for a year, then you have your 1 year of paid Canadian experience. Then you can now apply for your permanent residency under the Express Entry Program, subcategory Canadian Experience class. So that is the easiest, the fastest, and easiest pathway to Canada. So study permit, study for a year, at least a year, postgraduate work permit for a year. Once you have completed your work, your employment for a year, then permanent residency application under the Express Entry Program. Okay. Okay. So, what schools can I go to then? So we are in partners with multiple schools across Canada except Quebec, and these are some of the schools. You might have a school that you want to go to, and we can definitely take a look at that one. And I'm pretty sure we are in partner with them as well. It's hard for me to put everything in the slide because there's tons of them. Okay, so these are just a few, and there's many more. Okay, and you might want to say, okay, I want to go to a school in British Columbia because I have relatives in there. Then that is totally fine. A schools we'll find you schools courses that you can choose from in BC, right? So study permit, of course, there are some requirements, federal requirements. How what would the IRCC look at in terms of my application for study permit? Okay, so the person must be a legal age of 18 years old. So if the person is here in Canada and country, they would rather spend their money here in Canada and go to a university here, knowing that their plan really is to come here anyways, right? So why bother studying in your home country for your college, wherein it won't matter later on if you would be still coming to Canada, right? So some of our clients, right from high school, they come here and study their college, post secondary here in Canada and immigrate here. Successfully pass a verification of all criminal records, so you need to be admissible to Canada. So no criminal records, no misrepresentation, and relatively in good health. And of course, you should provide all of the documentation truthfully and accurately. Some of the requirements, more requirements, would be proof of financial support. So with this one, you will need to show that you're able to pay for your first year tuition fee. Okay. If you have been accepted to a 4-year program, you will need to pay tuition fee for those 4 years. You only need to show that you're able to pay the first year. Plus, you need to be able to show that you'll be able to support yourself while studying. That would be the living expense. Some people use this one as or call this one as the show money. Okay. And that would be 15,000. Okay. So you have to show that you have the means to pay your tuition first year, and at the same time you have 15,000 Canadian dollars. Now, you don't need to have this one under your name. If you're being sponsored by your parents or your relative, then obviously the money would be coming from what will be showing immigration would be the financial situation of your sponsor. Okay. And that would be bank statements for the last 4 months, just proving that they are able to support you, that they have the means to support you while you're studying. Then a letter from that person that they are really supporting you and providing you the money for school. Then also we need immigration would need the acceptance letter. So this is a letter from the school saying that yes, you this person is our student or will be our student, just waiting for her to get her study permit and come to Canada. And in order to receive that acceptance letter, the school will require you to pay between 10 to 50% of their tuition fee. Okay. First year tuition fee, 10 to 50% tuition fee. Now, it ranges, it depends on which school, which course. So the down payment depends on that one. And the balance can be paid while in school. Also, to take note, another thing to take note is that any money that you pay the school, we have nothing to do with it. We won't be touching your money. You won't be sending it to us. You'll be sending it directly to the school. Okay. And in case your study permit gets refused, your down payment will be refunded, okay, by the school directly to you, not to us. So your money is 100% safe. And then we provide a learning plan. Okay. We'll have to show why are you intending to study in Canada, wherein it's an expensive tuition fee, and not in your home country. Okay, so we have to make it show. We'll have to show why. What is your plan, right? So now school requirements. So this is the school admission, entrance, and entrance scanning. All right. Okay. So you have the course assessment form. So you'll have to complete an assessment form. Transcript of record, diploma certificate, and this would be your post-secondary and college. Copy of your passport, IELTS score, and when it comes to the IELTS score, this one varies from school to school and also varies from course to course, right? Some higher courses would need a higher IELTS score, while some other courses would only want, let's say, CLB 5 or I mean CLB 6 or 6.5. And the good thing about having us work with you in getting you into the school that you would like to get in is that when it comes to your transcript of record, diploma certificate, you just need to provide a clear colored copy to us. So you don't need to notarize that one and all of those things and then mail it from the school to their school. You just have to send it to us in a clear colored copy, and that would be sufficient. So it's an easier admission for you. Okay. School benefits. So it's an interest free payment plan. School will also be assisting you with your temporary housing if you need some, if you need help with that one, assistance. Or some of our students, they just go to Airbnb to secure their place. Some schools, they have their own Canadian immigration consultant like myself, which is great. Anytime during the day, you can go ahead and approach the consultant for any questions, immigration questions. But it doesn't mean though that will not be available for you. Okay, will still be available for you. And grants and loans are available for international students, but that is only once you are here. Okay. You cannot apply for grants or loans while you are in your home country. You'll have to be here first in order to apply for this one. Another benefit would be as a student in a with a student visa during school season you can work 20 hours per week, and during off season you can work 40 hours per week. Okay. And the big thing about this one is as a student, you can also bring your spouse and dependents with you. The only thing is that you need to be able to show that aside from being able to pay your tuition fee first year and support yourself, you need to be able to show that you are able to support your spouse and your dependents as well while you are studying. So, what's next after school? Once you have completed your course, yep, you've guessed it right. So, it would be work under the postgraduate work permit or the PGWP. When it comes to the PGWP, if you are if you finished a just finished a 1 year course, you will have a 1 year of postgraduate work permit. If your course is 2 years or more, your postgraduate work permit will be 3 years. Okay. And if you notice here that there is the lowest duration is 1 year, because less than 1 year, it won't qualify for a work permit. Okay. So that's why you have to take a course that is at least 1 year in length, in duration, because that is our goal, is that you'll get your work permit and work for a year, at least a year, and apply for your permanent residency. And yes, number two, apply for your permanent residency and later on probably apply for your citizenship if you want to. Then sponsor your parents. And sponsoring your parents can be as early as once you are a permanent resident. Okay, you don't need to be a citizen of Canada before you can sponsor your parents to come here. So money matters for sure. Minimum wage. What is the minimum wage right now in Canada? Is it worth coming here? I mean, like wage. Let's put a wage aside. There's a lot of great things of why you would want to come to Canada and live in Canada, right? So you have education, free education between from grade 1 to 12, low criminal rate, your medical would be free, all right? So medical healthcare system in Canada is free. I mean, like if you need to give birth, you come to the hospital, give birth, and after a few days, go home without paying anything, right? If you're on dialysis 3 times a day, I mean, sorry, not 3 times a day, 3 times a week, then you just get dialyzed and you come to the hospital, come to the renal unit, get dialyzed, and go home. You don't have to worry about dialysis fee. Okay. So now, when it comes to wage, but still, what is a wage? So the lowest minimum wage would be in Newfoundland, which is 11.65, and the highest minimum wage there is in Alberta, which is $15 an hour. So this is the snapshot of like minimum wage across Canada. I'll give you guys some time to take a look. So British Columbia, you'll see there it's $14.60. Alberta 15, Saskatchewan 11.32, Manitoba 11.65, and so on and so forth. Okay. So let's do a wage sample computation. Let's say in BC. Okay. So let's say you're earning minimum wage 14.60 an hour times 40 hours a week. That would give you $584 per week. In a month, 2,336. So in a year, working a minimum wage, 40 hours a week for a year, that would give you $28,000. Okay. Now it might sound okay, 28,000. That sounds small. Why would I go to Canada for that one? Okay. So if we convert 28,000 really to, let's say, Philippine pesos, that would give you close to 1,000,000 pesos. Working at a minimum wage for a year, that would give you close to 1,000,000 pesos. Okay. Now, if you translate that one, if you go back to your home country and see, okay, can I get this money, 1,000,000 pesos, working minimum wage? I bet you can't, right? So that's why there's a lot of people who would like to come to Canada because of the employment opportunity here, right? And it would be great, not just for you, but for your family as well. So this is only you. If you're taking your spouse with you, then your spouse would also be earning the same amount of money or even more. All right. So let's say you're a student and you bring your spouse. So your spouse could be earning 1,000,000 pesos while you are studying. So of course there is an investment on this one. It's not for free, right? So I see this one as an investment we're in. You have control over when it comes to the return of investment. When will you get your investment back? And with that one, you have control over that one. Okay, because you study. Once you have finished your course, you work. All right. So now it's up to you how much work you want to take, or how less of work you want to take. So you have control over that one. Unlike, let's say, you are doing some entrepreneurship wherein you're buying products from a supplier. Let's say there's a package one, two, and three. Hire the package, it's more expensive, more products to sell. Now you'll be selling your products. So hoping that you'll find people that would want and need your products. Okay. And hoping that it would be a routine basis wherein every month they'll be coming back to you and purchasing, buying your products. And how much would be the profit per product, right? Per product that you sell. So when it comes to the return of investment on that scenario, the you don't have any control over that one, right? You can only what you can control is how much you can market it and those things, but you cannot force customers to buy your products and buy every week, right? So no offense to those people who are doing those business. I'm just comparing it. That is a very legit, decent business. I am just comparing when it comes to the return of investment. Okay. So funds funds needed for foreign workers. So student with no dependent, again 15,000 for your living expense, show money. If you're bringing your spouse, you need to add another 5,000. If you have a child coming with you, you need to add another 3,000. And another family member, that would be another 3,000. That is a show money, right? This would show that you're able to support yourself while you're in school, and at the same time support your spouse and dependents as well. When it comes to the school tuition, the average would be between $10,000 to $20,000. Okay, this is your investment. And again, your dependents, if you're coming with your dependents, they are able to work unlimited hours. So this one would kind of like help. when it comes to your finances. Once we have determined that you're eligible, that we will be able to help you get get like a course. I mean, like if we are confident that we'll be able to provide you courses to choose from, university to choose from, then we will go to the next step, and that next step would be the registration process. And at that stage, we, we will be requiring the administration fee of 1,400 or 48,000 pesos. And with this one, as part of this webinar free and live stream, we have unlimited perks right now, and those are free unlimited IELTS review. So when it comes to challenges, struggles in taking your IELTS, with our free unlimited IELTS review, we will be able to help you get the score that you need. Okay. Then free IELTS exam will take care of your IELTS exam. And usually there is a consultant's fee, immigration consultant's fee of 1,500. Because of this webinar live stream, we have this is one of the perks would be we are waiving that $1,500 just for you. So step by step study permit process. So first is eligibility check. At this stage, it is just us checking, making sure that we will be able to provide options for you. There won't be any fee required for this one. We want to make sure that you'll be able to move ahead. We don't want to waste your money and time. If we know that you won't be able to, there's no way that we'll be able to provide you any options, right? So we're not taking any money from you from this at this stage. We won't be requiring any fee at this stage. Eligibility check. Once we have determined that we are able to provide multiple courses for you to choose from, then we will let you know. Then we can go ahead and go to the next step, registration process. I mean, registration starts then, and that would be the time wherein we would be requiring the administration fee. Submit all the required documents. So, and then with that one, we'll be able to provide you your courses to choose from in school. Then you choose the course, which school, or from which school. I mean, like it depends. I mean, like we might be able to provide you courses. Let's say one in a university here in BC, one in Manitoba, and it's up to you then to choose which one, right? So there's a lot of factors in that one. One would be which province you want to live, and then the tuition fee, the cost of tuition fee, the length of the course. So there's a lot of factors that you can that you have to kind of like look at, right, in order to decide on which one to take. Then submit all the necessary documents. This is your school admission, okay, application now. Then once the school has decided, yes, we are taking you as our student, one of our international student, then they will ask you to pay for the down payment. Once you have settled the down payment with the school, you'll receive your letter of acceptance, and at that time, the first payment of 1,000 is due, but for this one, for this webinar, this is waived. We then prepare for your study permit application, and before we submit it to immigration, the last payment of 500 will be due, but for this webinar, for this live stream, that is being waived. We submit your study permit, then you come to Canada. Okay. I know there's a lot of steps, but we are here to make it a smooth process for you. So, fast and easy pathway to Canada. I'll show you in a different view so that you can clearly see how fast and easy it is. So study permit a year, postgraduate work permit another year. Then you apply for your express entry under the Canadian experience class. I'm just saying a year, but this one can be done in less than a year. Then in 3 years, you will be a permanent resident of Canada. Then later on, apply for your citizenship. So that's why I say it is fast and easy because it is relatively easy and it is fast, right? In no time, in less than 3 years, you'll be a permanent resident. So, what are the next steps? And this is only if you think this is the pathway for you. Study, work, immigrate to Canada, and you would like to get your unlimited IELTS review, your free IELTS exam, your consultant's fee being waived. If you want those, then you can go ahead and send your resume to assessment at Roman Canadian Immigration.ca. And in the subject line, please type in study, work, and immigrate to Canada. This is very important because we want to make sure that we are able to triage the email, and we'll be able to see your email right away and work on it, right? Because we do receive tons of emails, and I don't want to see your email go get buried. And also, we want to make sure that you are part of this webinar and that you are wanting to avail the perks, the limited perks. Once we have determined you're eligible, then we let you know that we can go ahead and proceed to the next step, which is a registration process. So this concludes our webinar, free webinar and free live stream. I would like to thank everyone who joined us live. For those people who just finished watching this recording, thank you as well. I'll be here for a few more minutes to answer questions. Again, if you have any questions and you're watching us in our Facebook live stream, please enter your questions in the comment section. In our Zoom, please enter your questions in our chat box. Yes, Luis, you've raised your hand. Please go ahead and type in your question. Can the registration fee be paid in terms? Unfortunately, we don't have that option at the moment. Right? The only thing that we can help you with is we are providing you with your free unlimited IELTS review and your IELTS exam and waiving the immigration fee. Unfortunately, for now, that is the only thing that we can help you with. Any more questions from our live viewers? Or you might have some questions with regards to immigration but not study permit. That is fine as well. Go ahead and ask them away. Is it a one-time fee only? Yes, it is a one-time fee only. That is correct, Luis. Would it still be possible for a 37-year-old to apply for a study immigrant pathway? Definitely, yes. You're welcome, Luis. I just need you by my side. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you when the lights go low. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you more than you know. Don't forget to, if you guys are interested, please don't forget to send your resume to assessment@romancanadianimmigration.ca. You when the lights go low. How much is the overall consultancy fee for our for this for the study permit for the study work and immigrate? It would be the 1,400 Canadian dollars or 48,000 pesos. And every time I close my eyes, yes, I just need you by my side. Yeah, my heart gets cold. Our usual 1,500 of consultants fee is being waived, so it's only the 1,400. Normally, 1,400 plus another 1,500 later on, but that 1,500 later on, that one is waived. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Feeling kinda lonely, I could use a little something. Room is spinning, wait, I'm living. Feeling kinda lonely, I could use a little something. Don't give me. If later on you all of a sudden have a question that you were not able to ask, don't hesitate to ask them in our Facebook Messenger. We'll go ahead and try to answer them. Just please bear with us with that one because there's a lot of questions that comes in. Luis raised his hands again. Yep, go ahead. I'll wait for your question, Luis. So I was saying, if you, I mean, like later on when we're offline, if you all of a sudden remember a question, please do not hesitate to ask them via our Facebook page. We'll try to answer them as quickly as possible, but please bear with us because aside from answering emails, there's tons of questions that we do receive as well in our Facebook Messenger. So yeah, so just bear with us on that one. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you when the lights go low. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you more than you know. After all the time that's passed, is it wrong to say I want you? right, what school offers a general arts and sciences courses? There's a lot, Luis. So it's just a matter of knowing which province you would like to stay or live. But there's a lot. So I mean, there's hundreds of them, right? So yeah, there won't be any problem with that one. Yes, there is a year. There are some for 2 years. There's some for 3 years. So yeah, it's we'll give you the choices on that one, and it's up to you to choose which one, right? So, but then if you tell us that I really want a year course, a course that would go only up to a year, then that's the only course that will go search for you and do any research.
I just need you by my side.
What one-year course programs do you recommend for your partner schools in Nanaimo? Nanaimo is a very small city place, so we only have a one school here, a public school, which is Vancouver Island University. So there might not be a lot to choose from for Vancouver Island, but I'm hoping that you would like to go also to look at other provinces. I mean, like, or maybe BC, but in the mainland to have better choices. You're welcome, Luis.
I see the light. I see the reason in the night. And every time I close my eyes, guess I just need you by my side. Yeah, my heart gets cold. I need you when the lights go low. And my heart gets cold. I need
If
you.
I already have a nursing certificate, how do I apply? All you have to do is please send your resume to assessment@romancanadianimmigration.ca, and we'll go ahead and assess your situation, assess your profile, and see if we'll be able to provide you with courses to choose from and school to choose from. All right, so I guess that's it for now. Again, thank you so much for everyone for joining. If you just finished listening to the recording, thank you and stay safe.